Okay. I'm going to be playing Bebop scales over Blues for Alice, except the Tritone substitutions plural of the chords of the song. So, descending, starting from the root. I'm just going to do it out of time, because I still need to figure this out. So the first one is a major 7th chord, so the half step in a dominant bebop scale is usually in between the 7th so the one for the major scale, the half step is in between the 5th and the 6th note. That one right there. But in the dominant one, the half step is in between the 6th and the 7th note. So for the first chord, it's a major 7th chord. So I'm going to play the major bebop scale. And then the next chord, this is in my key. Or I'll do it in concert. So the first chord is F major 7. You play major 7 bebop scale. And then the next chord is E minor 7 flat 5. And then A7 flat 9. So you would play the bebop scale for the A7 flat 9. Oh, also these bebop scales I'm resolving on the 3rd. So 7, 7, 6, whatever. You know what I'm saying. Start from the root, go down to the 3rd, and then move on to the next one. Not all the way down to the root because that would take up too much time in the measure. So it goes 1, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Those were the wrong notes. But if you go from the root down to the 3rd, it takes up 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then you land on the 3rd, on the 4th count. So then you have time to do the next one. Because if you went all the way down to the root, it would 4 and it would take up too much time. You know what I'm saying. So the next chord, you would play the bebop scale for A7, but since we're doing tritone substitutions, that turns into E flat 7. So the first one. So that one's a dominant 7 bebop scale, which is different than the first one that I played. And then the next chord is D minor 7 and then G7. So you would play the bebop scale for the G7, but since we're doing tritone substitutions, you play D flat. Yeah. Yeah. And the next chord is C minor 7 and then F7. Since we're doing tritone substitutions, B7 is the bebop scale that you play. And then you resolve on the fifth measure. It's where the 4 chord is. So resolve that. So yeah, you resolve down to the 3rd. Yeah, okay. So first chord, F major 7, play major 7 bebop, E minor 7 flat 5, A 7 flat 9, play E flat 7, or E flat dominant bebop, because that's the tritone substitution of the A7. And then you play the next chord, D minor 7, G7, play D flat dominant bebop over G7, because that's tritone. And then C minor 7, C minor 7, F7, you play B7, B dominant bebop, and then you resolve on the third of the 4 chord, which is D. That's a third of the 4 chord. Boom! Alright. I'm gonna make this faster. So next one, E flat 7, tritone sub of that is A. And then this just moves down in half steps. So you notice the first 5 measures move down in whole steps, and then it switches down to moving down in half steps. The third, and then A7, because that's a tritone sub of E flat. Move down a half step. Move down another half step. And you resolve on the third of that chord. And then the next chord, the last few measures, or the last... Careful. Alright, I don't know where I was going with that, but... So you resolve on the third of G minor 7, and then the next chord is C7. So you play the tritone substitution of that, which is F sharp. I would recommend knowing your bebop scales. And then the last 2 measures is 1, 6, 2, 5, 1. So for that, play the tritone substitution of 6, which is D7, and the tritone substitution is A flat. So and then it's a 2, 5. So G minor 7, C7, play this tritone substitution of C7, which is F sharp. There you go, you're done. You can play through it. Out of time, because I'm using my phone to record this. And that's the thing that I use as a metronome. Shit. Now you gotta do that with a metronome or other humans. Yep. And also bebop scales starting from the 3rd or the 5th or anywhere else or the 7th. Yep.